I'm standing along the bank here of the canal where just earlier today a body was pulled right from this spot. Trujillo grabbed a garbage can and threw it into this window here, which shattered the first panel of glass. I am out here hot tubbing as we speak. It is 101 degrees here. I'm going to actually turn on the jets. Kevin, what did you think of their performance? Pretty good, huh? No comment? Nothing? Well, I guess he's saving his feisty remarks for tomorrow in the judging contest. Fun is an understatement out here, and I'm showing off my German heritage at Oktoberfest. As temperatures continue to drop out here, the big concern tonight is going to be the black ice.
First, we have some breaking news.
We are dealing with a standoff situation. As you can see behind me, authorities are on scene here. We've got 3 people inside the home. Well, Mike and Lindsay, if lawmakers can't come to an agreement on our budget, more than 50,000 federal employees in our state will be affected. When we talk about efficiency between a regular air conditioner and something like this, what's the difference? The people I spoke with today say President Obama simply set the bar too high. Council would then decide as a group on how to regulate dispensaries, or they could ban them altogether. Just minutes ago, this train pulled in here at the Puffer Belly station, and passengers are now boarding for the last stop of the night over to Salt Lake City. Now, yesterday was a completely different story in the Glenwood Springs area, as heavy snow actually forced passengers to take a bus. An 8-year-old boy is being called a hero tonight. Dylan Earl helped to steer his grandmother's car to safety after she had a seizure behind the wheel. As most second graders try to master their timetables at school, 8-year-old Dylan Earl is getting a lesson not taught in the classroom.
Pulled the truck over and then I put on the brakes.
Dylan was riding with his grandmother along Interstate 70 when she began to shake.
She was having a seizure.
Dylan grabbed the wheel of the speeding car, traveling at 80 miles per hour.
Took a hold of the wheel.
Wedging his body between the seat, he began to pump the brakes.
I put on the brakes and then people came to help and then someone called 911.
Moments later, they were safely on the side of the road.
Just surprising that, that he was all there and ready to do that just like that, at the drop of a dime.
Dylan's brother admires his quick thinking.
I'm in 4th grade and I probably wouldn't have even thought of doing that.
In a situation that could have taken a turn for the worse.
Medical incident where they lose control of the car, oftentimes we see tragedy come from it.
If you could have just thought of what could have happened, it's just a bad image.
While he may be short in stature, this 4'1" boy stands tall today as a hero.
He should realize that he's a real hero. You saved a lot of people's lives, Dylan. That's what you need to realize.
And Dylan's grandmother is back home and doing well just one day after the incident. A woman is stabbed at an Orchard Mesa park and her attacker is now behind bars. Tonight, the victim, 24-year-old Katie Slauson, speaks out from her hospital bed. 3 stab wounds, 50 stitches, and a punctured lung.
Came about an inch away from my heart.
How a search for answers takes a near-deadly turn.
I was going there to clear some stuff up as far as some truth.
Katie Slauson found text messages on her boyfriend's phone from his ex, Crystal Reinbold. The two agreed to meet at this park to find closure, but what happened next, neither saw coming, including the one who's now behind bars.
If I would have known that it would have been this extreme, I don't think that I would have even stepped on those grounds.
Now face to face, the argument quickly turned physical, but as Slauson pleaded to stop, Reinbold kept on.
She reached for my shirt and she took a swing.
The two hit the ground, and that's when the knife was drawn.
I saw her reach for something and come around and stab me like that.
Slauson was rushed to the hospital as her dad got the call.
The worst call you ever want to get from your kid.
While Slauson regrets even meeting Reinbold that night, her scars serve as a reminder.
Life's fragile, and it doesn't really take much to change it.
I have the best family in the world, and I have great friends, and I love them all very much. I wouldn't make it without them.
Tomorrow, doctors plan to remove Slauson's chest tube. Reinbold is currently being held at the Mesa County Justice Center, facing first-degree assault charges and felony menacing charges. Well, Mike and Lindsay, hundreds of border bookstores across the country are closing their doors, including 6 in Colorado and this location behind me in Grand Junction. Now, one of the reasons for their bankruptcy is due to their slow transition to the digital age, as e-books may now change the way we read.
I'm always really sorry to see a bookstore close.
Borders bookstores file for bankruptcy.
One of Borders' problems is they didn't jump onto the e-book situation.
In a world of evolving technology, the new craze is the Kindle and Nook, a digital way to read.
I love it for travel. I love that I can just put my whole library in my purse.
Amazon.com says the sales of digital books have surpassed the sales of hardcovers, and Barnes & Noble says it has a lot to do with the difference in price.
Our bestsellers here are, run about $25, whereas with an ebook you can get them for $9.99.
There's also a possibility of ebooks taking over textbooks on the college campus.
My books actually cost more than my actual tuition.
If you're taking American Lit, Scarlet Letter and Moby Dick are free in ebook format.
But what does this all mean for local bookstores?
It's a tough game these days.
Margie Wilson, owner of Grand Valley Books, says this new age of reading makes for a difficult playing field.
We are competing against the internet, we're competing against eBay and Amazon.
But Wilson remains optimistic that ebooks will never kill the printed word.
I'm not really afraid of what will happen because I think that there's still a significant part of the population that wants to have a book in their hand when they're reading.
Now, a recent study by the publisher executives predict that in just 3 years, half of all books sold will be ebooks. Mike?